Hello everybody, Dev here of the Rogue Deck Chronicles, and this week I want to showcase Big Boy Daddy Wailord EX. Wailord EX is a Stage 1 Water-type EX Pokemon with a massive 380 HP. Has two different attacks, one for 3 energy, Surf, does 120 damage. The other one is Falling Down, it is a whopping 5 water energy, does 270, and then this Pokemon's now asleep. Well, the sleep sounds rough, and it is. But because of bubbly energy, we won't go to sleep. Bubbly energy, as long as it's attached to a water Pokemon, prevents and cures all status conditions onto the Pokemon it's attached to. So we can attack for 270, not get the status conditions, prevent any status conditions going against us, and kind of just let Big Boy Wailord just sit there, soak up hits, and dish out big damage. Now, obviously, Wailord has partners and friends to make sure it works well and works efficiently. First off, we are going to be running the Cinderace with Explosiveness as the ability. If it is in your starting hand, you can start it in the active spot, just like it's a basic Pokemon, and it has the attack Turbo Flare. For a single colorless energy, does 50 damage, and then you get to search your deck for 3 basic energy and attach it to your bench any way you want. So it allows us to accelerate Wailord EX, it allows us to accelerate our Monkey Dories. We run 4 of that to help with the passing and the absorption of damage. And then really another way for us to accelerate our energy is with the new card Misty's Vitality. Misty Vitality says search your deck for 4 basic water Pokemon or water energy and attach them to one of your Pokemon, and then your turn ends after using this. So if we get a Misty's Vitality with a Wailmer, we can just put 4 energy on there, end the turn, and then kind of move forward. Wailmer having 130 HP is a big beefy boy himself. Really hard to get knocked out in the first turn or even turn 2. So the Misty Vitality doesn't feel like a wasted turn. Now, in terms of other aspects of this deck, we run 4 Lily, 2 Boss, Tilhilda, and 2 Team Rocket's Petrol. The A-spec of choice for this deck is Secret Box, so you get to kind of discard 3 and get the cards you need. In terms of healing, like this Big Boy Wailord, we're talking about healing, we're talking about absorbing, we're talking about withstanding, right? We run 4 Jumbo Ice Cream Cone. It just makes sense. We want to have 3 energy on these Wailords. So, being able to heal 80 with the Ice Cream Cone, moving 30, 60, 90 with Monkey Dories off the Pokemon, this Wailord EX just takes hits and it does not die. So it's always a really nice combination to have the Monkey Dory, the Jumbo Ice Cream, and just natural bulk all working together. And this is not a stalling deck. I think that's the one thing I really want to emphasize with this. This is not a stall deck. It's very much a big, beefy HB deck that takes a lot of hits, but also dishes it back out. We will not try to win by deck out. We are going to be trying to take 6 prizes, I promise you guys. 308 HP just feels like sometimes where you're just trying to create a stall strategy, and we are not doing that with this deck. In terms of energy, we're running 8 basic water, 4 basic darkness, and then 2 of the bubbly energy. We don't need more than 2 of the bubbly energy because we're only going to ever really run 3 Wailord in a game. So it's in certain archetypes, certain matchups, and honestly, it just feels fine. There's a lot of situations where Surf does the job perfectly fine. You don't have to try to get 270 unless you really are trying to get the KO. But that being said, guys, the deck list will be in the description of the video like always, and I'm excited to showcase some matches we did with this list. They were really fun on the ladder. They showcased all the aspects of this deck and what every piece of this deck really means to it and how it works together. So I hope you guys enjoy it. But before we go into those matches on the ladder, I just want to ask a favor from everybody. Just check if you're subscribed to the channel. YouTube tells me you're probably not. So if you can, just click subscribe. It means the world to us. It's free, it takes 5 seconds, and honestly, it means, like I said, it means a lot because it shows the appreciation you have for what we do. And if you can, just like the video. Again, another 5-second thing lets us know the ideas are great and that you want more of these type of ideas. Now, I do want to say this is not a list that I crafted myself. This got top 8 in a tournament on the first weekend that Pitch Black was available on the live client. So I will also be putting a link to the deck list from that tournament in the description because I want to give credit where credit is due. So with all that out of the way, sit back, relax, and enjoy these Wailord matches because I certainly did when I was playing. Going second with the double Whelmer lead is not the worst thing in the world. We got a baton for the active, we have a Pokepad, and we're facing off against Morpeko EX? Yep. Draw into 6. Oh, we have to one-shot this, which we can once we get everything set up. Okay, so they really just did Pokepad pass. Okay. So let's get some pieces out here. I think I'm just gonna try to accept Double Monkey eventually. We'll Lily for 8. And we will just attach pass. We have Hilda next turn to get Wailord. And then we can just start slowly kind of just building up. We have the basic energy. We have the darkness. So if they try to poke into us, I'm okay with just evolving into a Wailord and just moving damage counters onto the Latias here. Grabbing 3 EXs with the Cyrano. Okay. What EXs are you grabbing? A Momomola? Did I see that right? A Volcanion. Is this a Mega Drakrai deck? This is Mega Drakrai of a Morpeko EX. Okay. Okay. So we have to be very cautious because Darkrai wants to have damage counters in different places. Which makes sense with a Morpeko here. Okay. So we'll have to Hilda for the bubbly energy. If they get that Volcanion up. And they don't. But that's fine. Or we can just grab the bubbly energy. So we're going to do that. And we'll evolve. Evolve the big boy at least. And then we'll just pass turn back. So now he can't burn this active. And we can always Lily, see if we can get the other one. And now we're just 1 energy away from being able to one-shot the Volcanion. And just take 2 free prizes. My question is, I think he's... Okay, so poisoning the active, getting the Darkrai ready to go. That's fair. They're probably going to pass for the Morpeko one more turn just to put damage counters on it in order to get the Dusk Raid off and running. Or not. We have the bubbly energy, so the burn didn't work. So yeah, our opponent passes. I think they're like, oh, like they thought, okay, they can get a status condition off. So we're gonna attach here. I think we're gonna Lily for 8 before we take a KO to maximize this Lily as much as we can. Okay. Keep the Meowth in hand this turn. I think just discard those 2. grab the only other Wailord in deck, which means we prized a Wailord. That's fine. And we'll take a knockout. I think just knocking out this Volcanion slows down their opportunity to put more status counters on us, because we didn't get the bubbly energy yet on the other Wailord. Alright, there's a Wailord and an energy. We have to Meowth if we have to Meowth for something. My concern now, Dark Bell doesn't work again because, again, we have the bubbly energy. I don't know what our opponent's trying to do. I don't think they understand what the bubbly energy does. Because that's 2 times now they try to put a status condition on this Wailord and it failed. But with that being said, Abyss Eye bypasses the baton, so we really just need to start working on getting this other Wailord slowly powered up. Unless they somehow do damage into us. Nope, they're not going to, which is perfect. I'm okay with just playing a slow game. They're powering up the Morpeko. Okay. Darkness energy. So... what do we do here? You know what? I'm gonna play the let's power up our monkeys. Let's play that game right now, right? And... let's Lily. Monkey, bubbly energy here for another... okay. So... I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna put the damage onto this Latias. Just so, like, we can... because we just have to pass 90 onto it. And that just takes a couple turns with the way the board state is kind of laid out. Now, it does turn on this Darkrai, which means if they promote the Darkrai... nope, okay. That was what we were kind of worried about. A status condition with this Wailord. Okay, so they're taking 2 prizes here before we were able to protect with the bubbly energy. We just got the bubbly energy just 1 turn too late. Okay. Slightly unfortunate, but we can still recover from this very easy here. So... what we're gonna do, not the biggest fan of discarding 2 energy here, but I don't think we really have to go super hard into a lot of KOs here. I think, again, we just kind of put damage onto the board. We'll promote this other Wailord here. Unless he has another boss to knock out this Wailmer, and then we're kind of just stuck with this one particular Wailord, which is not an awful thing. Because then we just turn into bulk mode. So, what we want to avoid is putting damage on this Morpeko. Alright, so there's retreating into this Latias. Legacy energizing the Latias, which is fine. It doesn't really change the math if we go knock out a... we knock out a Mega, because it's still 3 prizes. Alright, let's take a prize. Because what that also does is it kind of turns off this Darkrai a little bit. Ice cream cone, perfect. So now we can either knock out this Darkrai. Okay, you're gonna retreat the Darkrai into Darkrai. You're gonna move damage counters for us. I mean, I think this is WinCon. I think there's no way he can knock out this Wailord. Yeah, because if he does any damage into this Wailord, we can move it off of monkeys, put the energy here, unless our hand gets disrupted somehow, and it's not. Yeah, so that's win. I think having the bubbly energy really slowed down our opponent and really threw them for a loop. Oh, we don't win right away. Sorry, we don't win right away. But what we're going to do is we're just going to set up damages here. Battle Cage, duh. I'm making misplays now. I got too cocky. I got too cocky with my plays here. I am sorry. So, we're still in a good position relatively. Because basically now, we just got rid of all this damage. Got rid of their turn. And this 30 here hopefully won't hurt us. No, it doesn't. Because if they do damage, we can just... Basically now we have to put damage just on the active. Until we get until we get a boss. Where are they bossing? The other Wailord? Yeah, they're gonna try to stick us. Which is fine because we just start moving damage counters around. That's why we put the other bubbly energy on that Wailord. We wanted to protect it from the status conditions. Okay. And we just ice cream cone, but we don't have the energy, which is fine. We don't need the energy. But we are just gonna just slowly move energy off here. Alright. How many energies in the deck? 4. Okay. If we take this out of the deck. Okay. It thins our deck out, so I'm okay with that. Thins our deck out. I know he's going to get KO because we're going to do 220 this turn. But I don't think they really have a way with attacking with either one of those Darkrai to have an answer for this backup Wailord. So they're going to have to... unfortunately have to deal with this Wailord. And we're doing 120, which is knockout. Yeah, that should be game. And if I mess up, I mess up for a second time in this match, but no, we got it. Okay. There we go. Easy, not easy peasy, but the bubbly energy definitely carried itself with this Darkrai matchup, really throwing our opponent off for a loop. Let's go jump into another match, see how we do. Okay, so we're gonna lead with Cinderace, put the Monkey Dory on the bench. We have the Pokepad for the Wailmer. All we need is energy. And we're facing off against, who knows, some form of Stage 2 deck, because it has a lot of rare candies. Just need to get out of the mulligans in the top deck and energy. Well, I mean, the Misty's Vitality could help. Okay, we're facing against Dragapult, which is an interesting matchup. I mean, we're so beefy and bulky that once we get the Monkey Dory kind of set up, we're good to go. So we can Pokepad for a Wailmer and then Misty Vitality and kind of force them to handle something. And then we're just two-shotting everything. We can set up damage. But I don't hate our start here. I would love it more if we get an energy. That way we can do some other things. Okay. Not the worst start in the world, I guess. So let's energy all on this Wailmer and kind of pass to see what happens. Cinderace free retreat. Ultra Ball in hand. If they give us another turn, I'd love to do Turbo Flare on and put just the Darkness energies on the Monkey Dory. That would be much preferred, but we'll see if we even get that option. The thing here is, if they run the Dusclops, a Wailmer is very much in trouble. So we just have to be very careful of that. But once we kind of get that Wailord set up, I think we'll be cooking a little bit, which we can at least knock out this Draklock next turn. With just a basic Surf. I'll get rid of one Ice Cream. Do I Meowth? No. I think we're in a good enough spot where we don't have to worry about Meowth. I'll keep the energy in hand just in case something gets bossed, I guess. I know he has a Neo Upper. I know he has a Dragapult. My question is, does he have the rare candy? I mean, he's going to flip the script. This Petrol will get us... Oh, what is a Petrol? That Petrol can get us a lot of things, honestly. Yeah, saw that coming. We have... I would love to... Honestly, I think I should be with Petrol for a Surfing Beach. But a Surfing Beach won't work on that Cinderace. I'm just kind of trying to think of our options and our outs here. We also Petrol. I guess Petrol first. Petrol first Secret Box doesn't feel great with its 3-card hand, to be quite honest with you. Because I would love to be able to get damage off our board. That would be great, but I don't see a play for that right now. I'm curious of what our opponent's trying to do, because I think our opponent blatantly knows that Dreepy can't stay a Dreepy and needs to be into a Dragapult this turn. If not, they're going to be behind the 8-ball, which I don't blame them there. Are they just going to give us the Duskull? Put 3 disco from your... Okay. What's in the... Okay, so they just attached for the sake of attaching. I don't understand why. There's nothing in the discard. That's a waste of an attachment, in my opinion. Okay, so we got a basic darkness energy out of this. Okay, so it's petrol since we have the option here. You know what? I want to set up another Wailord. Again, couple card thin out here. Not the worst thing here. We'll get damage counters off the Cinderace. Kind of softening up. Softening up that Dreepy. A darkness energy, okay. We're cooking a little bit here. We're cooking a little bit. Because I'm fully expecting this to turn into a... Not the play I was expecting this turn. Okay. Not the play I was expecting. Are they gonna boss something up to try to stick it? This is where a Surfing Beach would definitely help with a Wailord stick right now. Yep, okay, I think what they're gonna do, they're gonna try to get this Wailord to be stuck in the active. While they kind of set everything up. If we get the Surfing Beach, then that's going to be a top deck of the life right here, but... Oh... I'm curious to what our opponent has to boss this Wailord up, right? Like, there's no other way around that scenario. Alright. Okay, yep, okay. I was like, is our opponent just time stalling? What is our opponent trying to do here? Why the free retreater in Cinderace? Unless you're trying to knock out the Cinderace this turn. Because you can't do 120 right now. Not with your board state. Another GP from the discard pile, right? Has to. Has to be the play. What we could do also is put the water energy on Cinderace here. Move 30 damage, do the damage, do the attack, and see what we can do from the board state. Unless he preserves the Dreepy. We're the Dragapult here. Pokepad, okay. Another Dragapult, okay. Are they just not hitting their rare candies? I mean, we saw in the mulligan, they have at least three in the deck. So I'm curious on what our opponent's trying to sequence here. Jamming Tower is just kind of there. We don't run tools. So that's just a stadium that's there. Okay, so... I think we do this. Unfortunately, we have to move all the damage counters onto the Cinderace here. Ultra Ball next turn. Turbo Flare. Gets us a KO. Yes, it turns on the... There we go. Alright, so we have 3 prizes now. Darkness Energy again, jeez. Okay. That's perfectly fine. Because then we can just get rid of the Darkness Energy. And get a Wailord and just kind of be there. Or, honestly, we can Ultra Ball for a Meowth to try to get more momentum. Because we could Meowth for a Hilda. Hilda for a Wailord and a Bubbly Energy. And then knock out one of these 2 prizers, potentially. Buddy, buddy, yep. Okay, a Petrol, so our hand's protected. Maybe. Unless, I don't think they'll run an Unfair Stamp. No, they don't, because we know we saw the Neo Upper earlier. And I doubt they're going to grab a special red card for it with a Petrol. Rare Candy. Okay, so that's for next turn. That's for next turn. So... You're going to do 100 to somebody? Is that the Neo Upper? They put the Neo Upper on Pheasantipity. Okay. That's a decision. That's a decision. I still think we should try to go for the Hilda play. So grab the Meowth. Meowth for a Hilda. Hilda for the Wailord. And a Bubbly. I think that's what we do here. I think we're in a position where we can take advantage of that. And then I'm just going to take the 10 damage and put it somewhere. Which I'm just going to put it there. It doesn't actually fix any of our math. Take the 2 prizes. We don't fall asleep. Neo Upper's off the table now. For what reason, I don't know why our opponent did that. And now we're kind of... Worst case scenario for right now for us is they kind of stick this Wailord in the active, and we have to try to claw 2 more energy on here, which we have 1 energy in deck. But we have more cards in deck, so they can't really just stall us out there. Okay. We have the double monkey, so they try to do any real damage to us. We kind of just have it. Haven't really seen... We've seen 1 boss. We've done 1 boss. Are they doing what I think they're going to do? That would be their... Why the Meowth? Alright, so that's 1, 2... That's 2 bosses. And they just gave us the game. I don't think they know that. I think they think we don't have any energy left. I think that is what they think is happening, but we're just gonna put the big boy up here and take that final prize. And beat Dragapult. And then the last prize card was an energy. So, but there is just the use of the bulkiness combination with the aggressiveness of this version of Wailord. I think, as you saw in that match, the Cinderace can really bring a different level of play with Wailord, especially if you get the monkeys turned on really quickly. And honestly, this is not even the first iteration of my Wailord list. I had a different list that I thought would play more consistently, but it just didn't. And this just feels better match in, match out through my testing. But with that being said, guys, like as always, deck list is going to be in the description of the video. If you honestly have enjoyed these type of ideas, of different off-the-wall deck lists, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, lets us know that you appreciate what we're doing. And I do not want to take credit for this list. It's a list that I found online through limited list tournaments, and it got a top 8 in the first weekend of Pitch Black. So it's something that I take inspiration from others, and I'll put the link to this list from the original tournament in the description as well. I want to credit when credit's due. So with that all being said, thank you very much, and as always, have fun playing those sneaky decks.